Hi, my name is Dr. Richard Abbey, and we're often asked about medication free ways to help with anxiety. Anxiety is often found in our children for a variety of reasons. It could be social anxiety, it could be anxiety due to academic stress. There could be some other reasons for anxiety, and anxiety may be something that is a result of having difficulties with things like processing, keeping up with conversations or academics that makes us anxious. So there could be some underlying reasons. And so one of the best ways to figure out where the source of the anxiety is to do an assessment. One of the things you can do is do a brain map and to better understand where the sources of the anxiety are. And so let me just show you. Here's an example of a map in which, in this young person, we see an excessive amount of fast activity in the frontal lobe. So you can actually visually see what's going on in this person's brain. And what's more interesting is not only to look at the power, but to look at the pathways that this person is overutilizing. So in this case, we're seeing that you can imagine if we're kind of ruminating or we're thinking about things over and over and over, you're going to see the same pathways being overutilized. And, in comparison to other children the same age, this young person is using these pathways a lot. They may be thinking about how they're going to do on a test, or maybe socially anxious about their peers, and so you can see how they're doing that in the brain. So then you can train the person to be more emotionally resilient. And here is a post image about when you actually do that. You see the power is way better regulated, and this is through training with their own internal resources. So this is something that they learn to do on their own. They built up their brain muscles. They built up their emotional resiliency. You don't see any longer this excessive fast activity, this excessive worry and concern. It's gone. It's vanished. And, the circumstances in their life has not changed at all. And you actually see, whereas before we saw excessive rumination through these pathways, post training, you don't see that anymore. And so this is one way that you can improve emotional resiliency by doing exercises that is driven by an assessment that looks at not what does research studies say with large groups of people? These things the methods that we're using have been widely researched. But your child is not a research group. Your child is an individual. And so what we find is that, the brain has 85 billion neurons, trillions of connections, and, it's no surprise that everybody uses their brain in their own individual way. So if you do an individual study of that particular individual and see how they're using their brain, you can set up a brain-computer interface protocol in ways that they can do 3,000 brain push-ups in about 25 minutes. And over time, they learn how to build those parts of their brain so they become less, in this case, anxious, more emotionally resilient. And their experience is that they're doing a lot better. They get more sleep, and they can perform better because they're not so anxious. So if you have questions about how this works, give us a call. There's a link below, 650-614-0014. You can read our free book to learn about strategies and methods that you can do at home, or if you're interested in working with us, it explains a lot about what to do there. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you soon.